place where the graduation was being held where they could take the patient and all her equipment. Now, you know the nurse did this all on her own time. Then, at the time of the graduation, the nurse accompanied the patient with all of her tubes and everything to the graduation. And this patient saw her child graduate. She died 48 hours later. That's not in any procedure book, and it's not a policy. It's doing the right thing, and it's doing it as if, well, of course, that's what you do. I don't need any thanks. I just do this. So that's our story at UK, and this is nursing.
You did great. You did fine. And you can see what a pleasure it is to work on a project like this. It's a very life-giving project. Now, the one thing I want to say is we're going to keep going through these because we want to kind of get it all out. But make notes to yourself because I'm sure you have questions, and we will get there. So, Rodrigo.
It's my time?
Yeah.
Well, and many of you know me through Nutrimental, and since 3 years ago, I'm out of the running the business. The business is being running by our people, and 2 weeks ago, I became very realized when I read a newsletter from Nutrimental, because I go there once a year and receive some reports and so on. When I saw that this company had made an AI summit, working out the learning, planning, and action upon the issue of getting improvement in productivity. And this was involved most of half the company in a volunteer way, and in a self-organized and self-managed way, involving more than 60 teamworks, because our company now is based, it's a team-based organization. It's an organization based in process, not function, not bureaucratic. And our company in 5 years, we had 6 times more EBITDA, you call that EBITDA. It's a profit, operational profits, 6 times more without adding new capital or growing in product line, because we came from a condition in the beginning in '97. We, as most of the Brazilian local companies, were victims of the globalization and the transformations. Most than 80% of the Brazilian companies were broken or sold through this process. And we had to find out a new kind of business. We used to be a service company, and we had to move to a customer-oriented business, and we had to learn new technologies, to develop a new culture, and so on. And we didn't have money, neither credit to finance all the changes. Our only asset were people. And the challenge were that we had to learn and to change in high speed, and keeping alive, and being able to make all the transformations. And so that's why when David told me, Rodrigo, I go to Brazil if you put the whole system in the room, I immediately agree, because when I met with Harman in 94, one of the things that I learned from Willis Harman is the essentiality, that the fundamental change occurs when the whole is in process. And so when David asked me if that I had to put the whole system in the room, in the process, I immediately agreed. It was necessary to make planning for that. It's just invite people to come. Well, many extraordinary things happen in our company. For instance, we change our informatic platform from mainframe to AS400, a new platform, in six months. And as well as we implemented the ABC, the activity-based cost, in our organization, also in 5 or 6 months, when most of the company, no more than 20 or 30% of the companies are able to make this change in 2 years. We did that in 5 months. That's why, because we become a living system, a learning organization, and where people cooperate and have a clear understanding, and that Jack Stravos put with very clearly, in a clear form, the importance of resources, incentives, action plan, and shared vision, to combine these elements in order to allow that people really can produce results, extraordinary results. So, Nutrimental is doing very well, is doing better without me than. And it was a big satisfaction for me, saw that the company, that this vision of philosophy, AI philosophy, as well as the learning organization concepts, is a property of the whole, not of the leader. Well, now, today, we are having an experience so exciting as I did in Nutrimental. Now, I am at head, the president of this association. It's a huge association involving thousands of industries. And we had many schools, technological schools, business schools, and we represent the interest of the industry in relation with the government, the social society, and we are part of a national system involving federation in every state. It's the kind of the industry is organized in Brazil. So we are very influenced, joined with the government, with all. It's a very powerful institution. And our institution, when I assumed it, was 1 year ago, exactly in October 1st. At that time, if we could compare our federation with the other Brazilian federations, we were by far at one of the worst positions. because during more than 10 years, this federation was managed in a command control and very centralized way, with the fear as the way for keeping control the systems and so on, corruption, many, and really the outcome of our system were very bad in relationship with the other states. 1 year later, probably we are at the front head, competing with São Paulo and Rio Grande do Sul as one. And what happens? It's because we brought all the people. We allow all the people to participate in the process of restructure the system. And so I will show a video that can show how it was done.
In October of 2003, a large cooperation network began to take shape in Brazil. It was a South American extension of a global project launched by American entrepreneurs after the 2001 terrorist attacks in the United States. BAWB, the English acronym for Business as an Agent for World Benefit, urges the business community to rethink organizations so that more than just productive and profitable entities, they will also become social development drivers. The event was organized by the Paraná Development Institute and held at the premises of FIEP, the Industrial Federation of the State of Paraná in Curitiba. 600 entrepreneurs, economists, consultants, students, and university professors embraced the idea.
I found that this event met my personal, collective, and professional aspirations, and the way that it greatly my role as an agent for a better world.
I feel great.
The American economist and futurist Hazel Henderson, author of the theory on new economic, social, and quality of life indicators, encouraged the Brazilian audience by pointing out areas in which Brazil is in the lead. Evolution biologist Elizabeth Sartoris said that Brazilians have much to teach the other countries.
I really believe that Brazilians are naturally cooperative and very, very creative in cooperative ways. So this means that Brazil has a huge job to do in the world.
Concern for environmental, economic, and social challenges mobilized those participating in the meeting. Working in smaller groups, they drafted projects and action plans to meet the proposed goals. We are going to get together next Saturday with the idea of creating an organization which seeks to sustain and support those entities that are already working. In March 2004, the Industrial Federation of Paraná assembled 2,500 people in a series of regional meetings that included the participation of collaborators, entrepreneurs, professors, investigators, students, and public authorities. The first shared plannings meeting's proposal was to come up with suggestions on how to improve the services delivered by FIEP for economic and social development in Paraná. Our vision is to have a dynamic and participatory administration based on dialogue with the higher purpose of strengthening and developing the state of Paraná's several industrial segments. The shared planning initiative was carried out in 6 cities in Paraná state: Londrina, Maringá, Ponta Grossa, Pato Branco, Cascavel, and Curitiba. The appreciative inquiry methodology resulted in involvement and active participation. In every city, people forwarded proposals and organized work plans for the FIEP system to become a center of excellence in innovation, sustainable industrial development, and human resources management. New and innovative proposals have already begun to be put into practice.
It's provocative, it's daring, and it's possible.
The proposals were combined into 11 themes: continuing education for professionals, customer interaction, higher value placed on human resources, service excellence, self-sustainability, sustainable industrial development, homogeneous infrastructure and high business performance, social responsibility, transparent communication and effective marketing, technology and innovation, and partnerships geared towards business development in the state of Paraná. These proposals will guide FIAP's actions in the years ahead.
People are working, engaged in different projects, and they're engaged in projects that make sense to themselves. In other words, I'm doing what I want to do, what I think is important for the future of the organization.
Well, this the first meeting, the BAWB meeting, was made just when I assumed in October, and through this event of Business as Agent of World Benefit, we create a mood, a basic environment to get the acceptance both from the industrials and also from the people who works in the system, in order they accept to be involved in a planning process in a participative way. And the BAWB create conditions for when we start the participative process, shared process, shared planning and management of the system. People were prepared for understanding and being productivity in this process. Since March, we had many others meetings, sectorial meetings, the clothes industry or the automotive industries, specific meetings, as well as meeting like with the doctors, the PhDs living in Paraná, meeting that then they create an academy for sustainable development and using AI process, as well as a program bring together university and business people for technology innovation and strategic cooperation, as well as 4 clusters, small cities where there are many like specialties. So we are using intensively and extensively the methodology for fostering and facilitating the creation of a new ways of organization for sectors of the system. Next month, we are organizing, we will implement a program of involving the key stakeholders of the Paraná states, for creating a vision of future of the Paraná, involving the media, industry, government, and social, also using the appreciative inquiry. So we are spreading this concept of a new way of making planning, and the acceptance is being very well. And we see our role as providing a shared infrastructure for supporting the evolution, giving freedom for supporting the evolution of new initiatives coherent with this process. And that in always we are keeping in mind this concern with guarantee this perspective of the whole. And something that I'd like to share with you, it's about my perception that appreciative inquiry has to do with deliberative democracy. It's some kind different of representative democracy, that we are seeing that in the representative democracy, some people get the mandate, but they use the mandate not necessarily for serving the whole. And